Hi, I'm Jared Hillam. Look, I know I'm dating myself here, but I remember what the internet was like without a search engine. And it was pretty unusable and limited in functionality. And basically, you just had to know the address of every website you wanted to use. And while there was this unlimited potential, it was limited by the fact that there was nothing to organize the chaos. Well, it turns out that this is a pattern. There's a natural ebb and flow between hardware and programming. We see this in the gaming industry with games challenging the hardware, then the hardware leapfrogging the programming of the games. In fact, you can almost choose any technology and you'll find this trend. In the world of data, we've experienced this leapfrog effect in hardware via Snowflake, then later some of its competitors to some extent. The innovation in compute allocation provided by Snowflake unleashed the hardware barriers altogether. I mean, we don't even have conversations about hardware anymore. But with that change, we're starting to see data platforms unearthing new problems. Consider what happens when all of the aspects of your data landscape are now unlimited. Unlimited data, unlimited compute, unlimited users, unlimited tables, unlimited everything. Well, I'll tell you what can happen, and that's unlimited chaos. And that's not Snowflake's fault. Organizations are still learning how to live in an unlimited data estate. It's all part of the natural ebb and flow between hardware and programming. See, organizations no longer have the natural fencing of a fixed hard drive or a certain amount of computational power which their data centers provided in the past. But there is something that does limit the data consumption, and that's the organization's budget. Now, I want to make it clear that you can impose programmatic caps on cloud usage, but organizations left the limitations of hard caps for a reason. Their users need information and need enablement. In fact, it's not uncommon for new adoptions of these cloud data platforms to cost more than their on-premise systems they're replacing. Not because the queries are less efficient, quite the opposite. The difference is people that actually need information can now get it, whereas in the past they were just met with endless spinning hourglasses. So we're seeing actual consumption rather than limited consumption. And even with this massive speed and efficiency increase, the increased consumption can end up costing more. However, often the reason that organizations overspend in their cloud data platforms is because they haven't adapted their practices to an unlimited data estate. These new practices do require some amount of discipline from the data engineering teams. And combining these practices with some programming that Intricity has assembled around Snowflake, organizations unleash Snowflake's real potential without blowing out the budgets for compute. There's two main pieces of programming that Intricity has put together for this. The first is a set of auditing and monitoring analytics that can keep an eye on Snowflake's unlimited data estate to flag glaring waste in the deployment. Simply having the ability to see what's going on is the first step in determining how to address it. The second is a framework for establishing standards and naming conventions and configurations for all of the objects in your Snowflake deployment. These standards get configured into a master reset script to ensure that the chaos of an unlimited data estate can be governed by the organization. Now, the third is a data access control framework that allows the organization to assign data sets to roles in the organization. This access control framework is tied to the master script that I just mentioned, so that the entire Snowflake environment with its unlimited users, objects, and tables are compliant to their appropriate organizational standards. What this ensures is that you can continue an unlimited growth trajectory because you have a way of managing the growth. This makes me think of a story of the father and the son flying a kite, and as they got to the end of the string, the son asks, "Dad, let go of the string so that the kite can go higher." And then the father tells the son that if I do that, the kite's going to fall. It's a connection to the string that makes it possible for the kite to reach its maximum potential. And the same is true for the access control master. These automated standards unleash the organized scale of Snowflake's potential. Now, these products I just mentioned are part of a new brand called FlowObjects. If you'd like to read up about these solutions, I've included two links in the video description, one for the Snowflake auditing and monitoring analytics, and the other for the access control master. And of course, if you'd like to connect with an Intricity specialist about your situation, there's a link for that as well.